The best way to trip up a Trump supporter is literally to just ask them questions and let them talk. And in only a short matter of time, that Trump supporter will betray their absolute stupidity. This is what we are about to witness when several different Trump supporters get confronted and asked some basic questions. What's up, everybody? It's Hunter Avalone here, back with another video. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already. Now, we talk pretty frequently about Trump and about how he is very stupid. And because he is very stupid, of course, he's going to cultivate an audience of fellow stupids. And this is exactly what he has done. Recently, the Young Turks sent in somebody to interview some Trump supporters, and they compiled 9 different Trump supporters giving their general opinions on the border and immigration. Yeah, so hang on to your butts, because we're in for some serious cringe. 9 deranged Trump supporters explained their insane thoughts on the border.
What would be one thing you'd want to see him do for the country should he be back in office?
Seal that border. Close it up. Build the wall.
Exactly, yes.
Would you want him to build a
Seal the border. Instantly, this geezer appears to be drunk or on drugs. Or maybe this is just what MAGA does to your brain and your face. I don't know. But either way, both these people look like they're probably at the age to receive Social Security. I wonder if they're aware of just how much immigrants, and yes, illegal immigrants, pay into Social Security services. I wonder if they are aware of the fact that illegal immigrants have contributed billions to Social Security.
wall on the northern border as well?
I don't know. Now they're going up there, so I mean that's a whole new can of worms.
Like there's too many criminals and gangsters.
I like how when they talked about the northern border, like Canadians, like white people coming in, he was like, that's kind of becoming a problem too, I guess, but instantly way more hesitation.
Gangsters and everybody else like that they're letting in, and that's, they're coming in and, killing our people here. And like he said, I mean,
This insane notion that like gangsters are coming into the country across the border, like in mass, is ridiculous. Is it possible for criminals to get across the border sometimes? Yeah, of course. Is that a problem? Yes. Is this what's happening on average? No. The vast majority of immigrants, illegal immigrants, usually are just here either fleeing from turmoil from their homes or looking for better life here, jobs, work, stuff like this, to this matter. So first and foremost, undocumented immigrants quietly pay billions into Social Security and receive no benefits. If all undocumented immigrants were deported today, next year's Social Security trust funds would have approximately $13 billion less for benefit payouts. It's a considerable loss of dollars, especially when it's projected that the Social Security funds will be depleted by 2034. According to New American Economy, undocumented immigrants contributed $13 billion into the Social Security funds in 2016 and $3 billion to Medicare. 3 years prior, the chief actuary of the Social Security Administration wrote a report that estimated undocumented immigrants contributed $12 billion into Social Security. And here's one tracking Texas, where lots of Republicans are, so they'll probably like this one. Comparing crime rates between undocumented immigrants, legal immigrants, and native-born U.S. citizens in Texas. Relative to undocumented immigrants, U.S.-born citizens are over 2 times more likely to be arrested for violent crimes, 2.5 times more likely to be arrested for drug crimes, and over 4 times more likely to be arrested for property crimes. In addition, the proportion of arrests involving undocumented immigrants in Texas was relatively stable or decreasing over this period. So yeah, there's one in Texas, 2020, comparing the crime rates. Undocumented immigrants commit significantly less crime. So this notion that this lady's rambling on about, that these like criminal gangsters are all crossing the border, it's ridiculous.
I'm for helping people, but Why do we want all these gang people in here? We got so many problems anymore. And to me,
Honey, you say you're for helping people. You're not even helping your own teeth.
it's from letting all these people in. They shouldn't be in here.
And do we think most of them are
And
gangs?
there she did it again too, just like all of them are criminal gangsters.
I think a lot of them are anymore. I think that's the people that are coming in. I mean, they're stealing young kids and all this just so they can get in here, acting like they're related and.
Like, actually, a lot of
Okay. Yeah, she just has like an incredibly warped view. She kind of has this perception of the border that they're all just like these gang criminal members, like human traffickers. You know what would help people that are already in this country illegally who've been trafficked here by human traffickers? Making them citizens, actually. Making the victims citizens. So that way they won't be afraid to go to the police and report that they're being trafficked.
more people think if you could just literally just shoot people at the border, like they wouldn't come anymore. If you put alligators out there or snakes in the water.
Would we want to be a country that shot people who came across the border then?
Yeah, I mean, because you can't just let everyone overrun the country because you're gonna make it so the whole boat crashes.
So like in order to be sentenced to death in this country, you have to go through trial. But he thinks that crossing the border illegally should just be an instant death penalty. There no questions even asked about it. Just firing squad. Now, to be fair, I mean, I would be mad also if my sideburns looked like that, but still, this is just ridiculous.
You want to only let in a certain amount, and you want to marry. You don't want, and you want to scream too. You don't want just people to walk in by foot. Right. You want them to come by airplanes. You want them to come by trains. You want to screen them. You don't know who they are.
Yeah, we agree with this. Yes, you should screen people who are entering the country. Also, the process to become a citizen should be made easier. Right now, America is, I think, as far as Western countries go, the most challenging country to immigrate to. All that does is incentivize illegals. Illegal immigrants, though, however you want to look at it, benefit the country and benefit the economy immensely. So this chuckle wanting to just shoot people for crossing the border is deranged.
So once in a while, if you shot some, you think it would scare people from coming?
And like, why do people think that we have to be the country that lets everyone in?
This is just a totally false dichotomy. He's setting this up as if the only two options are let everybody in or shoot people who cross the border. Obviously, there's another option, right? Which is screen people, make sure that just any person isn't just waltzing into the country, sure. But also you don't need to shoot people who illegally enter the country.
Everyone's under this like brainwashing that you have to let everyone in or you're a mean person or something.
Well, we were a country of immigrants, right?
I mean, you could go back to like ancient Rome, the same thing. They let in too many people from around their empire.
But I'm just talking about.
Does he realize that ancient Rome collapsed because of economic issues and there were a bunch of external factors that played a huge role? They were in wars and there was economic turmoil. These conservatives will literally blame the fall of Rome on just anything that they currently dislike. For a while, I thought Rome fell because they had gay people. That's what I was always told. I guess it's switched up. Now it's because they let in too many immigrants. What's next? My guess is next year it'll be, did you know that actually Rome had an early edition of critical race theory? They were teaching it, and that's why Rome collapsed.
But we didn't have... They weren't getting food stamps. They weren't getting supported by the government when they came here. They were on their own when they came here. If they did that now, people... Again,
undocumented immigrants pay more into social services than they take out. The employment rate of undocumented immigrants was at 95.8%. The vast majority of undocumented immigrants are employed, working jobs, not getting food stamps. There was a 48% decline in the U.S. violent crime rate from 1990 to 2013, a time when the undocumented population tripled. So this is just not true. Again, this notion that like undocumented immigrants are all just taking all of our benefits and shit. Also, if you're undocumented, you won't usually qualify for plenty of state benefits because you're undocumented.
People would like respect them more, if they did that. We want the country to go back to how it was.
In what ways? What was it? What did you prefer then to now?
Well, I mean, obviously a lot of things didn't get accomplished because he tried, to close the border and all that stuff. Like, that's important to us, but he wasn't able to accomplish all the way. We like this travel ban to keep America safe. We liked how he was trying to take money away from, tell NATO countries to, start, putting more money out.
When you say the travel ban, the Muslim travel ban?
Yeah. Because I mean, you gotta keep the country safe, even though if it hurts some people's opinion, feelings. You just gotta do it.
Do you think that a bill
It was actually an irrational thing that just targeted people on the basis of religion or where they were traveling from arbitrarily. Like, that was kind of a silly thing, actually.
in Congress that would allow the president to shut down different border crossings as he saw fit or she saw fit? Do you think that would be a good thing to have in place?
Yeah, you should only allow only a few people in here, like based on merit, but also they should have to be able to take care of themselves. Like, that's the important thing that no parties talked about. We don't have any extra money to be given to other people that are coming here.
Good thing the people that are coming here are contributing, not taking.
I mean, it's not necessarily doesn't mean you're racist. It just means you need to take care of your own.
When we were talking earlier, when you said you would support that bill, he urged members of Congress to not support such a bill. What would you say to Trump about that?
You pretty much have to do what Texas is doing. You have to make it a crime to enforce it by the states, because what happens is when different parties come in, they don't want to enforce certain things. So you need to have each state make it legal.
But Texas is a state and it's a federal law, so you still support Texas overriding the U.S. government and that?
Hell yeah. It's just like, maybe it's not legal, like legally, like, right, but morally, like, it's what people want.
Do you think a president should be immune from
What if a bunch of people, like the vast majority of Americans, want something, say, like, I don't know, abortion? Should it just happen then, buddy? My guess is he would say no.
Be immune from indictment for things he did while he was president?
I feel like if they would have got on after him, like, right when he was done the first time, like, I would have respected it more. But since they waited until the elections are close by, I don't respect that. I feel like it's political because they waited too long to go after him. Like, they should have went after him right away as soon as he was out of office.
It takes a while to get a case going, though, right?
Yeah, but I don't know.
And also, weren't there filings and everything, like, pretty immediate?
I don't really know how I feel on that. Like some things don't seem like he should be accountable for, like, the January 6th thing, like, because he said, go peacefully and stuff. But, like, there's some things that I don't think he should have been prosecuted on.
I hate the January 6th conversation. It is such a perfect example of Trump doing the thing he does, where he says two contradictory things so then he can have his cake and eat it too. He says you need to fight like hell or you're going to lose your country. And then he also says, but be peaceful, haha. So then the people that want to go fight like hell and be violent can go be violent and say, well, Trump said be violent. And then the people that want to defend Trump can say, well, Trump said be peaceful. He does this all the time. It's so incredibly annoying.
What do you think about the January 6th felons? Do you think they should be pardoned? He said he's going to pardon them.
I mean, a lot of videos show the cops, like, actually letting them go in rooms and let them come in and stuff, like. So if that's the case, then...
No, there wasn't. There was one video that showed cops backing up and moving out of the way and moving barriers, because that was actually protocol. When you don't have enough people or enough cops to block off an entire mob, then you actually are supposed to, yes, back up and let them get to the next barricade. They were following protocol there, dude.
Then he should be pardoned, because I feel like it was a setup, because they put the cops there to fight him. Right. Where other groups go to the Capitol, they don't have the cops come there and confront them. They're, like, provoking them by coming there and being in their face.
What? So just the cops just, like, being there now is provoking them? Okay. I wonder if they would still have that same tune with when it comes to, like, black people being unjustifiably shot by cops.
I think most groups don't try and push down the barricades. Right?
Like, if they would have just, like, let them come in and they would have got the senators out of the building and just focused on protecting them, like, I feel like there wouldn't even been violence or nothing. It would have been just like a photo op.
But just respect.
Okay, that's great, dude. I'm glad that you think that. But they were there to disrupt the certification of a democratic election. You're telling me you think that if the cops had just let them in, which you just told me that they did let them in, so I'm confused. But I guess if the cops had more let them in, then they would have, what, gone in, taken some selfies and left?
Why should the senators have to get out of the building?
because other groups in the past have been able to protest and go to the Capitol, and the cops don't show up and don't confront them.
Well, there are Capitol Police there every day.
I don't know.
Right, I mean, that's what the in the word, right? Capitol Police. That's
I mean, we should be able to go there because we pay taxes and stuff. So.
everybody can go there. It's a question, I think, in this case of people.
This guy. Well, they don't have a police there with other groups. There's always police at the Capitol, actually. 404 error.
People pushing over barricades and trying to break windows and doors to get in.
Yeah, but since the cop was the one that actually shot one of the protesters and killed the woman, like a lot of people are pissed off about that. And the other thing is, if they would have had enough like National Guard out there to begin with, I don't think the protesters would have.
This is so ridiculous. They are so ridiculous. The double standards that are exhibited by conservatives when it comes to police brutality, it's laughable at best, and it's just abysmal at worst. Like, for all the talk that conservatives give about justified police shootings, about just comply, this was a person who was lunging through the doors, breaking the glass, jumping through, and yeah, they shot her in self-defense. If, to be honest, that was one of the most justified police shootings of the millennia, okay?
Thinking they had a chance to
Cope and cry harder.
take the cops on.
But there were Capitol Police officers who lost their lives
Not the event. Like maybe
Yeah.
later from
injuries from the event.
Yeah. Well, I think the people that didn't bring the other National Guard in should be held responsible for that. Like
Not the people who did it?
Negligence.
Not the people who did it.
No, because the cops were fighting them. Like, well, I don't know. I guess you're not supposed to be fighting cops, but it's kind of against the law.
Do you think we should build a wall?
It's kind of against the law. Yeah, just a smidge there, buddy.
Absolutely. Look at Israel.
And what about on the Canadian border? Well, Israel,
Look at Israel. That does not help your cause, my friend.
well, Israel maybe not a great example these days.
You're talking about Canada? No,
You wouldn't build it on the Canadian border.
absolutely not. Because people from Canada don't want to come to the United States.
But 60% of the people that are apprehended at the Canadian-American border are from Mexico.
I understand that. Okay, I would heighten the security level. I'd put in some sort of barrier, but I wouldn't build that billion-dollar wall that Donald Trump wants to build.
60% of the people that are caught.
Okay.
60% of the people that are caught coming in from the northern border are Mexican. Do you think we should be paying attention to both borders in the same way?
I think definitely the southern border should be our number one priority first, but overall around, I think we should keep our country on lock, though, for sure.
Should we build?
First of all, keeping our country on lock, that is a bad idea, considering the world is moving towards more and more globalization. That would be incredibly detrimental to our economy, first and foremost. Second of all, I do really like seeing the change of tune, you know? A lot of people are coming from this border here too. Well, no, we really need to be focused on this one. It's like, why? It seems like it could be racist almost. I guess they're just thinking more brown people coming from one side.
A wall in both places?
Should we build a wall around America?
Well, just sort of on both borders.
Both borders, I believe so.
Around them. There's a lot of sharks illegally crossing our borders.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Deal with the immigration at the southern border where there's all these people that our taxes are paying for.
And
Where's this notion that all of our taxes are just like paying for these people? They contribute so massively to our economy.
what about the northern border? Are you concerned about the Canadian border at all?
Her face is actually melting.
For sure, I am. I've heard some troubling things about it.
And do you think that if he builds a wall down there, he should build a wall up there?
I haven't decided what I think about that yet.
We have to secure.
I like how we can't let the immigrants in because our tax dollars apparently are paying for them, even though that's really not true and they pay massively into our economy. But yet they're fine, or at least really need to consider spending billions of our tax dollars to build a wall, which we already know would be virtually useless.
We have to secure our borders. That's the bottom line, because what's happening is an atrocity. It's bad.
Do you think we should both northern and southern borders?
Guard both our borders.
No. Do you think we need more security on both the northern and southern borders?
I'm sure we do. Think of our homes. We secure our homes, and this nation needs to be secured. And until it's secured, we are not a
This
nation.
is not analogous at all. A home is an individual person's property that is a designated space for a certain person. This is, you can't compare a country to an individual's home.
That's order is in the word border, and that's what we need.
Order is in border, and that's what we need. You know, con is in conservative, lady. You ever think about that one? Again, if you think illegal immigrants are just bringing crime nonstop and that they're causing chaos and the only way to bring order back to this country is to secure our borders or whatever, how come there was a 48% decline in U.S. violent crime from 1990 to 2013 when the undocumented population tripled at the same time? Shouldn't there have been a massive crime spike as well?
And what about the borders? Talk about the north and south.
Yeah. Just like Trump was doing.
Close your mouth before you close the borders.
Can you talk to me about how Joe Biden has gotten us into the world wars?
Do you know what's going on in Ukraine or Israel?
Yeah, but what is, I mean, I know that Hamas went into Israel and they have a historic battle between.
It wouldn't have happened under Trump.
How come?
Because he didn't allow that.
But it was Putin.
Blind eye to it.
But it was Putin who went in.
I love this. I just, this just wouldn't have happened if Trump were president. Well, the president didn't really play much of a role in this war starting, so what would Trump have done differently? Well, just his mere presence being there, you see. If Trump were president, cancer would be no more. World hunger would cease.
And Biden and both the Republicans and Democrats.
Putin wouldn't have went in anywhere if Biden wasn't in office either.
Okay, again, I'm sorry that I'm being so mean, but this woman just literally looks like E.T. I'm like thrown off. Bruh. This is so unbelievable. Okay, I'm done.
You think that?
If Trump was in office, Putin would stay in check.
What makes you say that?
It's proven fact.
Well, it's not proven because Trump wasn't in office when Putin invaded.
There was peace in the Middle East when Trump was in office.
To be fair, there hasn't been peace in the Middle East in many years, right? So like,
stand and argue with you about it.
No, but
you have your opinion, I have mine.
No, I'm just
This guy's just shutting down. He's like, I don't want to stand here and argue with you about it. This guy doesn't seem like very much fun to talk to or disagree with. I mean, to be fair, he did kind of kiss Putin's ass sometimes, right? So like, perhaps, I don't know.
I don't have a horse.
I'm done.
Okay.
Oh, he's snowflaking out. Oh, he's snowflaked out.
I don't have a horse.
Oh man, he melted. Homie's built like a snowman and he melted like one too. Bummer. Dude, these Trump supporters are such clowns. They're so easy to make fun of. So basically, illegal immigrants bring a net positive to this country. But simply because they're illegal, hiccup, they should all be deported and we should completely close our borders and everything else. Like, it just, it makes no sense at all. It makes absolutely no sense. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I will see you soon. Peace. If you want to support the channel, please consider becoming a member today. Members get early access to videos, access to all the stream VODs, and exclusive access to emotes as well. So if you'd like to support the channel, become a member today.